to actually take it back, I said Chelsea would win the league last year. That's how confident I was that adding Lukaku was the final piece of that jigsaw. And they just about scraped third. I remember there was a time when Arsenal fans were saying that they're going to finish third. That's how bad Chelsea were in that last back end of the season. They were awful to watch, let's be real. It's not even a dig. I'm not even trying to send shots.
I mean, you can't even say that. Like, if you say that they weren't fun to watch, or
they were awful.
You get killed,
them.
But
they weren't good.
Yeah, they weren't.
I mean, again, some people saying that Arsenal are going to finish third. It's just delusion. Second of all, I don't watch my football team for them to look good. I watch for them to win. I don't care how.
You know what? It's not even as a Tottenham fan, I'll sit here and say Arsenal could finish third. Why not? They were actually.
I'm sorry, they
won't. Why can't they?
I'm sorry.
No, the one thing that I'll say, David, is that you're not going to. What I'm going to tell you is that you do this all the time, and it's cute, but Chelsea being better than Spurs and Arsenal is nothing. You're Chelsea.
No, I know.
You need to figure out a way to be better than. No, but that's your backup plan. It's like, well, we're better than you. We know that, but we're talking about
in there. I'm talking about.
It ain't. It's not.
The way that if you said to a Man City or a Liverpool fan, we're going to finish ahead of you next year. Obviously, they're slightly more ahead, but they'd sit there and be like, "What are you guys talking about? We're better than you." That's the way I view.
Can I tell you something?
Spurs and Arsenal. I think Arsenal are in for a rude awakening next season because you're going to go back to playing Europa League football. That is going to affect you.
I think you're the one that's in the rude awakening, and you're in a delusional state thinking your club is.
I'm delusional.
1 second, yes, you're in a delusional state thinking your club is still under Roman and everything's the same, and you're going to sign all these players and you have all this money to spend. Well, you're in the unknown at this moment in time. You don't know how much money your club's going to spend this window. You don't know what they're actually going to do. You know what players you're linked to, but there's still a lot of uncertainty. And to sit there and still say, for sure, we're going to finish above you guys. You're hopeful. You don't actually have the center backs in. You actually haven't signed anybody. You haven't done anything of note yet.
I'm hopeful in my own team doing well. How dare I? How dare me? Throw me out. Throw me out. I'm so positive in my own team. How could I? It's awful. Bloody hell.
No, listen. I'm actually bringing sensible points. You're just saying, "Oh, look at Arsenal." No, that doesn't get your points across.
Egal, cook him.
No, I mean, but that's all he says is, "Well, look at Arsenal." It's true. Egal's right about that. He's right about that.
You're sitting there when everybody speaks body language, and you're like, "Oh,
I'm not."
You're right. The moment I speak, you're like,
"You're not right, though."
That's what I said. The only reason why he got upset is because you said it. He agreed that they were in a rebuild, but it was because Egal said it. He was, "Oh my gosh, how dare you say it?"
The amount of people. I've had to listen.
Humble yourself. Understand.
What are you talking about?
Humble yourself. Understand. Chelsea won the Champions League a couple years ago. One second. Understand. Understand. Your team won the Champions League a couple years ago. You thought Lukaku was going to come in and be the missing piece of the puzzle, and now you find yourself in the same position. You find yourself in the same position. You find yourself in the same position.
David hates Lukaku.
You speaking over, he's not going to get your point across.
Egal, did I think that?
Guys, let Egal finish, please.
Let me finish. You now find yourself in the same position as Tottenham and Arsenal and Manchester United next season, going into it with some uncertainty over if you're going to get top four or not. That is the reality.
It's not true. We're not in the same position as you.
Listen, Egal, and I have to say, Egal, that's a very clever statement. Uncertainty whether you'll make it. That is true, because there's uncertainty whether City or Liverpool will win the league, and it's just very well worded, Egal. That is brilliant, brother. You should honestly.
You're closer to us than you are to them.
Yeah, that's a true statement.
You're closer to us than you are to the top.
But Egal, I want you to go more on this, because I want you to. You're slightly like you're hanging over the fence, but you're still kind of on it, yeah. Do you think Chelsea will properly flop next year? Is that what you're saying? Like outright? Is that what you're saying is going to happen?
Have they brought in a center back yet?
That isn't the question. That's not the question.
This is my point. This is my point. Bring in a center back, bring in midfield depth, and bring in an attacker, then I might change my opinion. At this moment in time, Chelsea Football Club are in the same position as Arsenal, Manchester United, Tottenham, fighting for that top four spot.
You literally sat here at the start of the show and said it's just the start of the window. Why is everyone panicking?
No. But I get that. I get it's the start of the window, and nobody should be panicking. But I'm saying.
So why are you expecting me to panic then?
I don't give a shit about Chelsea. I'm just telling you my opinion on what I think about next season. So I'm telling you my opinion based on what I think, and this is what I think.
But
I think
when you sit there,
Chelsea football fans and Chelsea Football Club in general need to realize you no longer have Roman Abramovich. You no longer have that cash influx to change things. Until I see your new owner actually put the money on the table and sign a bunch of players and get deals done, I will not believe that you guys are going to be this better team. Right now, you need to humble yourself. Yes, you're European champion. Right now, you finished.
You literally sat there. You literally sat there and said you haven't signed a centre back. You haven't signed another centre back.
Okay, what is your point?
You're assuming my club is not going to sign any of these players.
I didn't say that. I said you've yet to do those things, and until I see them, I can't predict that you're going to be better off than you were last year, which you finished third.
But then therefore you are assuming that we do nothing. The only way we be in the same position as you is that if we do nothing.
I am assuming you're going to get a centre back. I am assuming you're going to get a striker. I don't know
so,
what we.
So you're saying. I don't know. So hold on. So Egal, let me get this straight. So you think?
No. Stop arguing against my point.
No, because we're having a debate right now. So I have to argue against your point. We're having a debate.
Argue why Chelsea are going to be better instead of trying to argue.
My club finished third last year. Your club finished fifth or sixth or wherever.
Okay, once again, we're talking about.
Hold on. Let me just.
He did it again. He literally can't help himself. He did it again.
Let me just make my point. You're saying that my club improves in the areas that we need to, and so does your club, but my club's going to slide and yours isn't.
No, I never mentioned Arsenal. This is where your delusion comes in, and you can't get past the fact.
It's true. Egal didn't even mention Arsenal. You keep mentioning Arsenal.
Why do you keep doing this?
Stop. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make any sense. How can my team improve and some other team come and overtake
I am going to be quick and concise with this point. Stop mentioning other clubs. Look at your club, and right now you were expecting to be competing with Liverpool and City after you won the Champions League, and now you're back in the top four battle. That is
if my club improves the way I think it will, I think we have the potential to come second next year.
I don't care about your potential. The reality is you finished third and your team has slipped from a team that won the Champions League to now competing for fourth.
But we didn't finish first. We didn't finish first when we won the Champions League anyway.
No, but you were supposed to be.
We finished fourth. We improved our league position.
Egal, stop while you're ahead, bro. That's my advice on that one. That's my advice. Because yeah. I mean, look, again, you make a good point. I mean, until everybody's transfer windows are done, we have no idea who's going to finish where next year. Do you know what I mean? Look at Liverpool fans. Great example. They signed Darwin Núñez. We're like, wow, look what we could do. And then they're told you're signing no one else. They're like, oh, shit, we can't beat City now. Like, the window is very fluid like that. We've got some super chats to do here. Great debate, though, boys. Really, really good stuff. What system is Tuchel going to play? Back 3 or 4? They need 2 centre-backs, 1 full-back, 2 attackers. It isn't a rebuild. It's more like assuring a top 4 spot is what Zane believes, who's the same Spurs fan.
Rumor has it that Tuchel wanted to play Rafinha as a wing-back. So you guys are sticking with the wing backs.
I've seen that, which is a bit mad.
God forbid that man comes in as a wing back.
Can you imagine?
He'd get cooked.
We already had that comment up there. Chelsea needs 6 to 7 good signings to challenge for the league title. United and Arsenal need 11 to 12 signings to challenge. That's a rebuild. Jess again looking to trigger someone is what Zane says.
It wasn't Jess's comment. It was a gal's comment.
Gunnar King here says, David, be real. Don't make this about us. You need 2 centre backs for a back 3. Cover in both fullback areas. A centre mid. Maybe 2 wingers and a striker. You will buy players and there's no telling they will settle.
Interesting.
But again, you're asking me to not be positive about signings that my club. It doesn't make sense.
No, what I will say is this, though. Everything they're saying about Chelsea is right, but you can argue that against... I mean, Arsenal look like doing brilliant signings, but they may not settle. Like, the logic works for all clubs, though.
Exactly.
That's the one thing I'd say is true. It does work for all clubs.
No, our signings 100% settle and hit the ground running.
So you're confident of that then, Jess, that none of the signings you're linked with this year will struggle?
She's being sarcastic.
Sure.
Yeah. She's not. She means it. She means it.
All the Arsenal fans have got so much fun over there.
That's more my point where I would bring
it back to if Rafinha comes to Arsenal, he hits the ground running. If he goes to Chelsea, he really struggles. That's how it goes.
That is a fact.
But at least that gives the points more validity, because if we're just going to say all signings that go to all clubs could foul, so there's no point getting excited, that just means transfer window's boring. Like, you've got to have there's got to be a secondary statement.
Yeah, you've got to be positive. You've got to be and that's what I was going to say before. Like, just because clubs make signings, it doesn't mean they improve. That's, in an ideal world, yes, you bring in a player and it improves that position, so the team improves. But
look
we've
at
all
United.
seen
They signed 3 of the best players in the world.
That's
and
it.
It
doesn't
worse.
work like that. There's no rhyme or reason. And sometimes you can get a player on a loan or a free or someone that you don't even think's going to cook, and they come in and cook. None of us can predict it. But obviously, every club just tries to position themselves as best as possible.
I also think that's the thing. You can change the system slightly and bring in some new players, and other people can reignite again. You mentioned that with Man United. Suddenly playing in a much better system with a better coach. If Rafael Varane, Jadon Sancho get back to their best days, the cliche is there, but they will feel like new signings, if that makes sense, because they weren't. And again,
do you guys have hope for Varane or no? Is there hope still?
I have hope. I do. I got hope for Varane. I think he looked good at Real Madrid when he was playing against Sergio Ramos, just because Sergio Ramos was the better player out of the two. Right now, he's in a back line where he's probably the best centre-back option. That's why I really hope with the transfer window, United obviously going for De Jong, going for a right winger, I really hope that a centre-back and a right-back is their priority. I don't know what Ten Hag's plan is. People are saying that he might be playing a 3-5-2. If that's the case, then there's some centre-backs that can play in a back three that are definitely on the market. And I think if Varane manages to stay fit, which he probably will try his best with the World Cup coming up, I think he will hit the ground running. And someone said it will be like a new signing. Same with Jadon Sancho. That's why I wasn't too worried this season with both of them, how they kind of performed. It was quite underwhelming going into this season, obviously, with the World Cup coming up, with Ten Hag coming up, with some new tactical structure coming up with Ten Hag. I'm excited. I'm excited to see how it pans out.
Just thank God that waste of Paul Pogba's gone, Amina.
I don't even want to talk about the Pogba saga anymore. Honestly, I'm tired of that.
Terry, are we going to talk about one of the biggest flops in Premier League history in Lukaku?
I mean, we can do. He's gone now. We can speak about him if you. I mean, awful flop.
You know how you say pound for pound, this team is performing amazing.
Yeah.
Don't you think pound for pound, he's the worst signing in Premier League history, since he's basically come for one season and now he's going back on loan to the team that they bought him for over 100 mil.
Well, it's mad, right? They basically, I saw a tweet and I can't remember who it was from. I really don't remember the name of the person. If anyone remembers, put it in the comments. I put it on the screen. I never like to plagiarize. They said basically it might have been Culture Cam who said something like Inter Milan have basically loaned Lukaku to Chelsea for a year for £100 million, and it made me die because it's very true in terms of how it's happened. Casey here says.